She'll ask you lots of questions to find out who you are, to make you feel like a star. She doesn't care if you animate on the ones or the twos. She just wants to get to know the real you. Here we go.
Hello, I'm the Animator's friend, India Lombardi-Bello. Thanks for your patience as I put out this episode a little bit later than usual. Today on the show, I have Tess Martin on. Tess Martin is a film and visual artist based in Rotterdam in the Netherlands. She brings her perspective as someone who is raised between cultures to exploring themes of belonging, identity, and connection. Her short films, videos, and installations address our vulnerability in relation to nature, the onslaught of time, and the precariousness of memory. Tess has both a classical fine art and animation background, and these come together in her work. She pushes the conceptual potential of handmade animation and the narrative potential of site-specific pieces. And I asked her about these things, like marrying kind of a fine art practice with an animation practice and how she juggles the two, and she shares a lot about that and kind of just even the practical reasons for having to do so as it relates to her standing as someone on an artist visa in the Netherlands. And she shares a lot of great knowledge about being an artist in the Netherlands that I think would be of interest to many of you. So excited for you guys to hear more about that in our chat. And she's currently promoting her film How Now House, which is on its festival run. How Now House investigates our yearning to leave traces behind through the prism of one house in Rotterdam, using archives, personal memories, and the philosophy of time. The film questions whether a space can ever really belong to one person or time period at all. And before our interview, I didn't get a chance to watch it in full because it wasn't online, but she sent me the full film after the fact, and I was able to just watch the full thing today, and I find it very stunning. Like, there's just this scene in the middle where it's just kind of the culmination of like all of these different techniques that she's using, and it's really like original. Like, I really haven't quite seen anything that looks quite like it. Like, I'm really impressed. So I hope that you'll get a chance to see it while it's on its festival run, and if not, I'm sure she'll put it up available online. You can see the trailer now. So yeah, keep an eye out for it. If you're a film festival programmer, maybe inquire about it. We recorded our chat at the Brooklyn Public Library for the first time. I became a member so that I could have like a nice neutral space to go and record, although I will say this was a very echoey location of this particular branch, but it's okay. And it's peak holiday season now, and as such, I was reminded of Metrograph's holiday season programming this year, and I was happy to see lots of animation in there. So the run began on December 19th, and I assume it goes through to like New Year's. Not 100% sure, so double check. But some notable films that I perused would be Nightmare Before Christmas, classic. We love that one. The Snowman. Showing The Snowman a couple times. I guess it's like a 50-minute movie. I haven't seen it in a long time, so I guess it's like a short feature. I had that on VHS when I was a kid. I just remember it being so good. And I saw a clip of it online recently, and I was like, oh, it brought back memories. Animation adjacent, Muppets Christmas Carol, the best version of A Christmas Carol that exists out there. And then some that Metrograph was interested in highlighting specifically is that they're doing a holiday Fleischer Tunes screening, so showing a bunch of holiday shorts from the Fleischer brothers. Revisited a couple of those as well, which was fun. They have like a funny way of like making me like very like super duper empathetic for the characters, like in a way that's like really intense, but then it's like a fun film. But like I start like there's like one with, I forget what the name of it is, but there's this one with like the orphans, and they don't have great gifts, and they're all like, they all start crying, and it's like, it's really like a lot for me. But then this guy who's like not really Santa, but he's like kind of like, he like makes himself like into Santa. He just like makes them all these like wonderful toys, and they're also like imaginative and crazy. And then it's just like everybody's happy, and it's like, I don't know, it's like I feel like they do a really good job of like putting you on like an emotional roller coaster. The Fleischer films, I haven't like watched one in so long, so it was like, it kind of, again, it brought back like, oh yeah, this I remember these feelings watching these when I was younger. And then they also have on their Metrograph, on their streaming platform, they're showing a lot of holiday shorts from the National Film Board of Canada, and watched some of those too, and that was lovely. In particular, Christmas Cracker. I forget who it was by. I'm sorry, but I watched it with the family dog, and the dog was fascinated. Okay, this dog loves TV, and this one really stuck out. So I think that's pretty high praise. So yeah, I hope you guys can check out some of those things. It's always fun to go to the movies to see something holiday-ly. And then also, you know, if you're doing any last minute holiday shopping, there's always Camp Snap. I just had a big 1-year birthday party for my podcast, and I asked all of my friends who have Camp Snaps to bring out their cameras so that we could have lots of photos. I'll be sharing some of those soon on my Instagram, Lucky Dog Face. And I have like just their basic camera, but then my friend Nicholas, he has their like pro camera, and we kind of weren't sure like what the difference was, other than that you can like switch the filters like on the camera itself, and it looks, you know, it was unclear. But then like when he sent me the photos, I was like, whoa, these are beautiful photos. Like they were like really like crisp and clear. They look kind of like, they look pro, they look professional, you know? And then my friend Kirsty Kish, she has the video camera, and I have like a tiny video camera that's from a different brand, and it kind of sucks. Like I think like it's not like stabilized, you know? So then I was curious to see what Christie's Camp Snap video looked like, and it looked great also, and it has like different options for aspect ratio, which is pretty cool too. And yeah, just a lot steadier, just like looks better. The sound is better, I think, than what I have on this other camera that I have. So yeah, I was impressed. I was further impressed with Camp Snap. So if you want to get your hands on one, you can get $5 off with the link that is in my show notes. And they're still doing a lot of bundles for the holidays. Like you can get like a pretty steep discount for buying, you know, a few different things at a time, and then on top of that you're getting the $5 off. So, and I think that you're still able to get holiday shipping for a little while longer, so it can come in time for Christmas. So yeah, find out more information on their website, but also use the link in my bio to get your little discount. So I will be talking to you again after the holidays. I hope you'll have a wonderful holiday season. Truly, truly. And now let's listen to my chat with my friend from the Netherlands, Tess Martin. And then you're going to the animators picnic, right?
Yeah, I'm planning to. Unfortunately, I can't be there until like 3:30.
It should be fine. I'm sure it's like probably not even really like cooking until, an hour in.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so fortuitous that it coincided. So and it's near to where I'm staying. So yeah, but you don't know if you can go yet.
I am going now.
Oh, okay.
My cousin was going to be in town, so like I wanted to prioritize like him, but we're going to hang out in the morning. So then after that, I'll head to the picnic.
Could bring him.
I don't know that he'll enjoy
like lost.
the animator vibe, but who knows? Yeah, I think he has plans with other friends after.
Good for him.
I feel like I've been it's like I love animation community. I love it so much, but I feel like there's been so many animation related events this fall in the city that I feel like I'm
in the city.
Yes, it's like never seen anything like it.
Wow,
it's crazy. There's something happening. There's a movement afoot. Stuff that like is kind of only like recently, like I feel like on the radar, but like is happening and like is animation, and I'm just like,
it's like people finally woke up.
Yeah, people are finally like sick. But yeah, I feel like as a result, like I feel like I'm so like immersed in animation world, and then like I feel like I'm neglecting my other parts of my life because there's been so many things, right. So I'm like, that's why with my cousin, I'm like, I'm going to hang out with you.
Right. Family.
You're the most important today. Yeah.
It's good to have a balance.
Yes. Yeah. Totally. So yeah, I'm excited to talk to you. I don't know if you remember, we did meet in Zagreb. Not
at a
like
picnic
2 years,
or at a park.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was their picnic, right? Or I don't know. Yeah,
I think it was called their picnic. I don't know how much actual picnicking there was.
There was like, they always have like those beans. They have like food, and it's like beans.
I don't remember any food. I just remember sitting on grass and talking to people, but I don't remember actually eating anything.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah. But yes, I do remember sitting down, and there was also someone else there who I don't remember.
Do you usually get to go to Zagreb, or was that like a special
I've only been twice, and the first time I was there, like presenting a talk at the symposium that they have. And the most recent time was the only time that I've been there with a film. Okay, cool. So that was really special for me because I'd never shown a film before.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So, and I had always been like an admirer of the festival from afar. So I was really chuffed to be able to go. Yeah.
What was the film that you were showing that year?
Oh, was I there with Alice? I was there with Alice and Ninke.
Yeah.
That was super fun.
Yeah.
I can't believe I forgot. Two of my best friends. Yeah, because they were there with their respective films, and I was there with my film, which was in the Panorama program. But I was still happy to go with my friends.
Awesome, yeah.
What was your question? You said something.
What was your film that was in?
Oh, it was the previous one to the latest one. It's called 1976 Search for Life.
Okay, yeah. I watched the trailer.
It's not online yet. Yeah. We're going to put it online next summer because that's the 50th anniversary of 1976. So, and the NASA mission and stuff like that. So we thought that would be a good time. But the festival run is pretty much done. So like we could put it online now. I mean, of course, we could put it online anyway.
Yeah.
But we'll probably just wait because why not?
Yeah. And then, do you want to talk about your new film?
Sure. Yeah. The new film is called How Now House, and it's an experimental documentary about our relationship to time and thinking about a house as a time container and our place within it. Yeah.
I love I just saw the trailer, but I love the look of it. It feels really fresh.
Oh, and that's nice.
Because what's the technique? Can you remind me?
So this one uses kind of two techniques. One is like very simple replacement animation, and the other is digital rotoscoping with time-lapse photography.
Yeah, and I just feel like the combination of those elements, and then you're kind of doing like this masking thing. It just... I don't know. It's so like, it's really like beautiful, but in this very like naturalistic kind of way.
Thank you. Yeah. There was a lot of After Effects rotobrush. The rotobrush was used, and it was tedious. And unfortunately, I had to do all of it. But it was appropriate for this concept. I'm looking forward for people to have the chance to see it. It actually screened in New York a few days ago at the Science New Wave Festival. And it was in front of the new feature film from Leon and Cosina, this Chilean duo. And I was like so surprised to see that it was in front of their film. And I was like very flattered.
Aw, amazing.
But I missed it too because I was in Seattle. So it's just ironic that I missed this festival by like 2 days, and I've had work in it many times.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to attend. So, oh well, it'll have to wait till next time.
Yeah, some other time. And then I was curious because you have this Seattle, Netherlands connection, right? Like I'm curious about because like, where are you from?
It's
the
confusing.
US,
I understand.
Yes.
It is confusing. So, okay. Cliff Notes version. I was born in the US. Both my parents are from New Jersey. But when I was 2, we moved to Europe and I grew up in Europe. So I didn't actually grow up in the States. Then I did spend 1 year in Boston at Boston University when I thought I was going to be going to an American university. And then I was back in Europe and I was in the UK for my bachelor and my foundation year. And then I had to move to the States because I didn't have a visa to stay in Europe. So I moved to Seattle where I happened to have a sister who had moved there. And turns out it's a really cool place. And it was like, I was very happy to have moved there. And there was a really cool community of experimental animators there. And there was a lot of positives. So I was there for 5 years. And that's where like I really started making my own work. And then I moved back to the Netherlands because we had lived there before. And I moved back there for a master's program. And basically I stayed. The only reason I am legally allowed to live in the Netherlands as a non-EU passport holder is because there happens to be a special visa for US American freelancers in the Netherlands. And I found out this fact in my research, and that was part of the reason why I did that master, because I thought, if things work out, maybe I can stay. I wasn't sure I would stay, but then I ended up staying, and this visa was there, for which I am extremely grateful. It is a complete fluke. It is complete positive discrimination in favor of US Americans.
Yeah.
And Japanese people. There's also a Japanese version. So if you're Japanese, also pay attention. So that's why, because if you're an artist and you're not going to like get a job, actually emigrating to Europe is challenging. I mean, obviously emigrating to Europe is challenging in any situation, but especially so if you're a freelance artist. So anyway, that's why I'm there.
Yeah, good to know.
Yeah.
In these trying times in the United States.
Indeed.
That exists. Yeah. What was the impetus for your family moving?
Academia.
Gotcha.
Yeah, my dad's job. Both my parents are academics. My mom teaches art history and my dad teaches economics. Yeah.
Cool. Amazing. Was that like difficult for you in any way? Like of being like kind of like of two worlds, or was it like, this is sick?
Well, to be honest, I never thought about it at all because it was just my normal. Yeah. And I never thought about it really as being of two worlds because it was just, I was this more international person and everyone around me was the same. So it wasn't really unusual. I mean, not everyone was my specific flavor of international.
But it was like, it wasn't so odd. Yeah.
It wasn't. Yeah. I mean, even in the Italian elementary school, like it didn't feel, I mean, I guess when you're a kid, you don't know that you're different unless someone really points it out. Yeah. So I was just merrily going along, and then there were also international schools. So at the international schools, it was definitely, you were not alone.
Yeah, totally. And then I wanted to also ask you about, because you have this animation practice that you're applying to, like, I think animation is a fine art, but I think a lot of people don't necessarily like see it that way, and they see it more as like a form of entertainment or something like that. And I'm curious about like, because I feel like you're applying animation into like kind of installation work or something that might be considered more broadly like a fine art practice. Do you feel like you've like encountered any kind of like confusion or like resistance from people in like incorporating animation practices into like a fine art practice?
Yeah. I mean, not really resistance, It's not like anyone's ever told me like, wow, you should really not put animation in this installation because animation is for kids. But I feel like I got tired of educating people.
Yeah.
I think I spent a lot of time championing animation as art. And, I have this like other past as like a curator and touring short film programs and like hosting events. And it was all kind of around this theme of like showing the breadth of animation and all the possibilities it includes. And for me, there was never this distinction, especially since I did a fine art bachelor. And that's when I discovered experimental animation. So I was always coming at it from a fine art point of view. Even when I was doing exclusively short films, like I didn't kind of get back into installations until recently. But I was always thinking of it as like, this is my practice. This is my practice. Yeah. Even if it results in like a linear short film that is shown at film festivals, it's still my artistic practice. So for me, this distinction never really existed. And I think with age, I just got tired of having to define it for people all the time. So I kind of stepped back from those roles. Like I don't really do the curation anymore. I stopped my event in Rotterdam after 7 years. And it was partly because of that. I mean, not only, it was also because I just didn't have the time anymore. Like I just needed to focus on my own work. But yeah, I mean, in the Netherlands, this question is unfortunately a practical one because in the Netherlands, the funding is divided up by discipline. So there's the design grant, then there's the film fund, then there's the fine art fund. And it used to be when I first moved there that you were only supposed to be eligible for one of them. And of course, which category is animation in, right? Is it fine art? Is it film? Or is it design? What would you say? Like if you had to pick.
I mean, if I had to pick, I would say film, but also like I feel like that's so limiting. Like that doesn't feel right either.
Yeah. So it is under the film banner, but technically it's under design. So it used to be that we weren't eligible for the Fine Art Fund. And when I applied, they would refuse me and say, we didn't even consider it because it's animation. And animation is not art. And you need to apply to the design fund. Ugh. And I was pissed. Yeah. I was pissed. And anyway, this was like a whole long drawn out drama with this kind of the politics around these funding bodies. But now it's different. They finally like come to their senses and they've relaxed it. But you still have to prove to the Fine Art Fund that you're an artist. So that means you have to exhibit in the fine art context a certain number of times to make sure you look like an active artist. But they mean the fine art context. So all your film festival screenings don't count.
That's crazy.
So you really have to have exhibitions in like galleries or museums or like, they don't have to be necessarily fancy, but it helps if they're fancy. Sure. But they have to be fine art context spaces. So that's something that I really had to work at over the last like 8 years when I realized I wanted to access this fund. I was like, okay, I really need to like make my shows happen so that I'm even eligible. So now I'm finally eligible. They still haven't given me big money yet. But thankfully there's the two other funds as well. So, but it is a practical question that unfortunately comes up. And like every place is different. Like this is just super Netherlands specific, what I just said. Like when I lived in Seattle, this wasn't the case. They weren't divided up by discipline. Yeah. And you didn't have to justify that animation was art, Yeah. So, yeah.
Crazy. I'm sorry, animation. It's so hard.
Yeah. We all have a cross to bear.
Yes, for real. Well, I hope it's changing. I don't know. I feel like I said earlier, I feel like there's momentum.
I think you might be right. I mean, I think also, honestly, as time passes, the older generation is dying out.
Yeah.
So, the younger people who've grown up with like a wider definition of animation, they are slowly, becoming adults.
Yeah.
So it's fewer and fewer the people who are really like, oh, do you work for Disney?
Yeah. Yep.
So it's just, I think it's bound to happen with time. It would just be nice if it happened sooner.
Yes. Well, it's interesting, to hear, your journey with it. And I think helpful for the listeners. We can get into the questionnaire. I think we're good. So 1, what's your morning routine?
So I love breakfast. Breakfast is really like my favorite meal, but it's more because I used to anyway be hypoglycemic. So like I had to eat like really right away. Like I can't hold on breakfast.
Yeah.
So I just, I love my cereal and my vitamin C in a tablet that you put in water.
Oh.
Yeah, I really champion this because I used to take vitamin C in like a pill. And then for some reason I switched and it, whatever, it was fine. But then I switched to this fizzy tablet and I've been taking them for like 4 or 5 years. And I think I've only had a cold once that entire time. And like, this was a big difference from before. So I think it absorbs better in water. And now I have coffee, but usually when I get to the studio, I'll have coffee.
Yeah, you wait on the coffee.
Yeah.
It does lead to my second question.
Okay.
So I might just go. So the second question is your surprise question. But I don't know if you're going to have an answer because you are a black coffee drinker. And I went to Kaboom. I don't remember when. It was a few years ago. And that was my first time in the Netherlands. And I'm a cappuccino person. So it's like I'm getting cappuccinos and I'm like, this is like the best cappuccino that I've ever had. Like at multiple different places, even like rinky dink weird place. I'm like, this is so good. So delicious. And I'm like, why is it so good there? I can't figure it out. I'm wondering if it's the dairy.
Interesting question. I am indeed the worst person to ask this question to because I do not have milk in my coffee. I don't know. I mean, I can't compare. I don't know. Maybe if it's the coffee machines that are like pretty standard in the Netherlands, with the foam thing. But I assume they have that here too. So I can't imagine that it's really that. Yeah, it must be the dairy.
Yeah, because I thought that maybe it had to do with the coffee itself. Like maybe like you guys get good. But I was like, I don't think like the Netherlands is known for like they have a great like the coffee itself is like out of this world. So I was like, but then I must have been talking to somebody and then like they were like, maybe it's the dairy. And it's like their dairy's just like delicious
or different in some way. I mean, it might be. No, I really don't know. It could be that like the standard beans that all the cafes buy are like that. It's just a type of coffee that you like, even though it's not fancy. Unless you go to like a hipster coffee shop and then you ask, for the beans from specific places. Which they do have, but it could also be like in the Netherlands when you ask just for coffee. You get it's like a style that is just the normal coffee in the Netherlands, but it's not what you would get if you just ordered a coffee here. Right. It's like less liquid and it's, I guess, stronger. So it's kind of like an espresso with double the amount of water or 3 times as much water. So it's like this much. And I love it. So it could be that maybe they use that as the starting point of the cappuccino. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know, but I think about it often and I'm like, I got to go back soon just for the coffee. Coffee.
Have you been to Italy to get a cappuccino?
Yeah, but I feel like I haven't been in a long, like I haven't been since I've like really locked into.
Oh, okay. To coffee.
Right. Because I was like, I am Italian. I'm Italian American, and as is
you don't say standard, with a name like Lombardi-Bello.
As is standard, we start drinking coffee early. So like as a kid, like I was drinking coffee, and I would always have it with like cream and sugar, which is delicious, obviously, but. I don't know. I felt like at some point I was like, this isn't quite like my thing. I feel like, and then I was just like more of a tea drinker for a long time. And then I think it might've been when I moved to New York, because anytime I would get coffee, I was putting sugar in it, and I'm like, I feel like I can't get the right balance. And then like one day I just like had it without sugar, and I was like, this is what I wanted. And I had not, like, I just assumed that like I would only like it if it had sugar in it. But it's like, I don't actually care for the sweetness. It's more,
it's the bitter,
the richness and the creaminess that I like.
Yep.
Life changing.
I think it's like part of adulting.
Yeah.
You know? It's like.
Yeah.
Actually, now we need the coffee for the coffee.
Yeah. Totally. And every once in a while, sometimes if I'm having like a coffee like after dinner, like I'll like to put sugar in it, but even then sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't like this anymore at all. You know, it's crazy.
That's good. I'm happy for you.
Thank you. But yeah, I'll come back soon and have coffee, and I have to go to Italy again and have coffee there for sure. So you spent a lot of time in Italy.
Yeah, I mean, we lived there. So I was there as a kid,
Amazing.
like until I was 11. So, you know, I tell people I never like learned the cool slang or anything because we left when I was 11. So I really have this kind of child's view of it. But it was great, you know. I would love to go back for longer. I've been back for artist residencies, but never really for like a long time. But yeah, we'll see. The arts funding isn't amazing. So, you know.
Okay. 3, where are you in the birth order?
I am the youngest. Yeah, I'm the youngest of 4 girls. So I'm the baby.
Yeah, and all girls, feminine, lots of feminine energy.
Yeah, I don't know how feminine we were. But my dad probably felt alone. Outnumbered. Him and the boy cat, that were those the only males.
Is there like a big age difference between all of you, or you're all pretty like close in age?
Well, I'm 9 years apart from my eldest sister, but then it's pretty even within. So I'm like only, I think, 2.5 years apart from Anna, my next up. But my eldest sister, you know, she was 9 years older than me. So like she left the house to go to college when I was 9. So like I didn't really get to know her until I was an adult. And she's the one that lived in Seattle when I moved there. So I got to know her better once I had moved there. Yeah.
Interesting. Do you know like a bit about birth order theory?
Only the basics.
Yeah. I mean, I probably only know the basics too.
Okay.
The youngest is usually the most uninhibited and able to kind of just like be free because there's not as much kind of like parental expectation on them or like restriction because they've already been through, you know, the rigmarole with the previous ones. I think maybe even too that the youngest is usually like could be the creative one. Do you feel anything?
Well, my eldest sister Beth would probably agree.
Yeah.
But yeah, she would have a better perspective on it than me, obviously. I think creativity, we were all pretty creative growing up. Like Beth was super into like reading and like literature. And so was Rose. Rose was also really into like art. Anna was also really into art and like writing. I mean, I think we all kind of inherited my mom's like creative streak up to a point. It is true looking at it now that I'm really the only one that's like doing it professionally or at least full time. So I think it's true up to a point for sure that like by the time I came along, I think my parents were just happy if I like, you know, was doing okay at school. Like their standards indeed were like much lower.
Yeah.
But I also I wasn't like super transgressive. Like I didn't push it very much. So it was like, okay, we're happy with this status quo.
Yeah. 4, when did you last sing to yourself?
Years and years ago. I don't really sing to myself. Yeah.
Not even just like if you're listening to something like singing along.
You know, I regret that I hardly ever listen to music anymore.
Wow.
Yeah. There was a moment I remember like a few years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, when I was like, I need to like have a mini dance party break in my studio, like once a day. Like I need to like put on music and like dance around because maybe it was during COVID or something, you know, it's kind of a mental health thing. And I probably did sing along a bit then. But yeah, I find music like very engrossing. So it's kind of distracting. If it's music I really like, I can't like just have it in the background.
Yeah.
Like it ends up kind of taking over. So that's why I actually like can't listen to it when I'm working. For the most part, I can listen to like morphine. I love morphine for work because it's kind of like it's like kind of a steady, good pace, you know, and it's not as distracting. But if I listen to like my treasured favorite bands, I can't work. Like I can't do anything else.
Yeah.
You know, I listen to podcasts a lot.
Love a podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish I did sing more. It's also, I think it's because I find singing very moving. So like when I hear other people singing, it's very like affecting. So it's not something I can do lightly.
Interesting. That's so interesting. I didn't like realize that this was like an experience that people had where like music is like a moment stopping thing until I had Signa Bauman on the podcast recently. And she said kind of the same thing. Like she can't listen to music when she's doing other stuff. And I'm like, that's interesting. I feel that way. Like I can't I think it's crazy that people can listen to music and read.
Oh yeah, I don't understand.
I'm like,
that at
I
all.
don't get how that works.
No, me neither.
But yeah, that's so interesting. That's so like powerful.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not a musician nor a singer. So maybe that's also why, because it's like, it's just so overwhelming, you know, like I'm not used to it, you know, so it's not like I can just, you know, keep it in the background. It's not going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah. You said that you have your most treasured bands and stuff like that you have to just stop for. Like, who are some of those people?
Well, this is kind of anticipating one of your next questions.
Oh, sure.
I think when I was like 14 or 15, I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only one that like discovered the Beatles when they were like at a formative age, but I really did. And it was like, it was my obsession. It was my first CD that I bought. I saved up like a bazillion Danish kroner to buy the first of the 3 anthology double CD disc sets, which were really expensive because it was the anthology and it was the double CD.
Yeah.
And that was my first CD that I purchased with my own money. I mean, my own, you know. Actually, no, I did get a job. I had like a paper route when I was 13. It was ridiculous. Oh my God, such a hard job for a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
But so I was like obsessed with the Beatles. I would re-listen to an album over and over and over, you know, just like you do when you're a teenager. And I learned everything about them. Like I became like encyclopedic knowledge of the Beatles. And yeah, I think that was really the first time when I was overwhelmed by a piece of art. That's one of your next questions.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, like I said, I'm not musical, so it's not like it inspired me to make music.
Yeah.
But somehow it was really inspiring to be affected so much by something. And like, you know, some of these songs would like make me cry, you know, and like I would just sit there and like, you know, dream and like just be like, oh my God, like, you know, I'm being transported to, I mean, and I didn't think about it like this, obviously, like consciously.
Yeah.
And then it's like, nothing else has come close to that ever since, you know? I mean, it's obviously about like your brain chemistry at the time when you're growing up, because I know a lot of people have the same experience with other bands. But yeah, ever since it's like all other music is always compared to this and it's always coming up short, you know? And it's always like, you know, I remember when like I first finally tried to listen to Taylor Swift because I was like, okay, I guess I need to see like what the fuss is about, you know? And I was like, I mean, it's like, it's like fine. It's not like I dislike it. And it's like, some of them are kind of catchy, but like, I don't get it. I'm like, okay, they're all kind of similar. And like, there's nothing new here.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm too old, which is fine. But and it's also kind of unfair. Like, how can you compare anything to the Beatles?
Yeah.
You know, this like completely world-changing band. It's an unfair comparison, but yeah. So, I mean, I do love, obviously, like also David Bowie. And I still remember when I first heard Bob Dylan, I was like, what the fuck is
Yes.
Why have I not known about this before? I mean, I think I was like 15 and I was at someone else's party, like not even someone in my class. So I didn't even know whose house I was at.
Yeah.
And someone had like a Bob Dylan CD and I was like, wow, this is amazing. Who is this? And like the guy was like, it's Bob Dylan. I was like, what? Who's Bob Dylan? So, you know, there's other bands, obviously, but, you know, also I really love the Pixies and Nirvana. And when I lived in Seattle, I got into Pearl Jam. I hadn't been into them before, but somehow it clicked when I was in Seattle, ironically.
Makes sense.
So, you know, it's not just the Beatles, but the Beatles were the first.
Yeah, I think similar for me. Definitely hyper fixated on the Beatles as a young person. Hyper fixated. I had books. I had the movies.
I remember I found a book in like a secondhand store in Brighton that was, I think it's called Revolutions in the Head. And it's a very detailed book that goes through every single song and it tells like the backstory of the song and like also the practical aspects of how they created the song. And I was so into this book. I actually made an animated short on my bachelor that was like a musical visualization of Tomorrow Never Knows out of like paper cutouts.
Cool, yeah.
Unsurprisingly, I was never able to show this film anywhere. But anyway, I got really obsessed with this book and going through in detail and listening to the song at the same time as reading that chapter of the book. Yeah. And it got so bad that I paused reading because I didn't have time to devote to it. Like, you know, I got busy with other things and I was like, okay, I'll come back to this. I still have not finished this book because like, I just feel like I can't devote I can't devote the proper time to it. It's been like 20 years. I still have this book and it's still marked in the middle where I stopped reading.
That's so funny. Okay. From your past fixation to your latest fixation. What is your latest fixation, number 5?
I guess it is a fixation. Like I've gotten really into family history research. And right now I am almost done with transcribing these letters written by like an ancestor during the Civil War.
Oh, wow.
So I've just been reading a ton about the Civil War and like, transcribing these like 50 or 60 or more letters written by this Confederate soldier to his wife and tracking the movements, you know, where they were and like really, really learning about the context in Virginia at this time. So I've been down a Virginia and the Civil War rabbit hole like for the past few years for sure. Yeah.
Do you think it's going to culminate into like a piece?
I don't know. I mean, it'll definitely, you know, it'll work its way into my work in some way, whether obliquely or explicitly. I've just learned a lot. I mean, I think it's also because I didn't grow up in the States. Like this is all really learning. Like I'm really learning everything, you know what I mean? And it really makes me kind of understand a bit better, like my grandmother, my mother's mother, whose line we are discussing, and of course contemporary society. That it's always fascinating to me, and I do that also for other things. Like I've also been researching Ireland during the between the 1850s and 1870s. For a period, I was researching like New York in the 1860s and 70s, and like the Irish immigrant community there, Philadelphia. The Italians and the Irish in Philadelphia, and also Italy in the Northeast near Genoa. So like, this one ancestor that was in a hospital for chronic illnesses. And we did this whole research and we found out some stuff about her. And so there's a lot of different research, but it does become an obsession. Yeah. It really does. And I spend a lot of time on it.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing to have like that kind of information about your family history. It helps to make sense of, like you said, you understand your grandmother better as a result of all this. So it's like, it's such important work to do if you have, you know, if you can dig up those facts about your family and stuff like that.
And like, it is important, you know, how it relates to my family, but it is true also that like after a certain point, these are just people, you know, it doesn't feel like it's necessarily my family, even though it is. And obviously that's kind of the entree. But I feel like I could almost be as fascinated with anybody because of all it gives me, all it teaches me. It is just a nice kind of path to follow. It just happens to be my family, but somehow I really feel like everyone's story is interesting, right?
Yeah, I love that. 6, what's the first thing that you unpacked when you arrived to New York City?
Yeah. Probably like my plug converter,
Yeah.
to like charge things.
Practical, yeah.
To charge my laptop and my phone.
7, what's your greatest extravagance?
Probably the apartment that I live in. Because after a lifetime of housemates, I was able, with the help of family, to purchase a little apartment.
Amazing.
In Rotterdam. And it needed a complete renovation. So I spent like 8 months doing that, and it was expensive. So as someone who paid cheap rent in a cheap place for my entire life.
Yeah.
Just thinking about the amount of money that I spent on this renovation, it's like, it's the most expensive thing I've ever spent any money on. Like, I don't drive. I don't have a car. I don't have anything else that's this expensive.
Yeah.
And I mean, I didn't like have gold faucets or anything, but it needed a complete renovation. So, and obviously I wanted it to be nice. And it was my first time living in my own place at all. So I, was willing to go a bit into debt for certain things. Some friends might point out that I do have a lot of kind of expensive bottles of whiskey in my apartment, which are old. Like I bought them before the whole house adventure.
Yeah.
So I don't spend that much money on booze anymore, but I still have like a lot of really great booze in my house, which I do enjoy, like making cocktails and stuff.
Yeah. What's your cocktail of choice?
I love a Negroni. I love a Negroni or a Mezcal Negroni or like a dark and stormy rum and ginger beer and lime. Can't go wrong.
Is there like a big whiskey like tradition in the Netherlands, or is that just something that you've picked up elsewhere?
Yeah, it's just something that like, I went to Scotland and got obsessed with and like kind of challenged myself to learn a bit about. I know not everyone's into it, but I do love a good whiskey.
Yeah, I think it can be nice. I think I don't like the cocktails as much with whiskey, but like I don't like, I like a bourbon. Like I like to like sip on a bourbon, tastes good.
I end up, when I'm out, I would rather sip a bourbon for like the whole evening than like, I don't really drink beer anymore. Yeah. Which is very un-Dutch.
I was going to say.
Yeah. And or I order Jenever, which is like the Dutch gin.
Oh,
it's like this old man gin, but it's like the most affordable spirits and most pubs have it. Even the non-fancy pubs, they'll have like a dusty bottle of Jenever up on the top shelf. So I would rather have that than like beer or a bad cocktail. You know? Like just give me the straight liquor. And I end up drinking less because it's kind of expensive. I mean, it's more expensive than a beer. So I'll just sip one, maybe two for like the entire evening, and that's it.
Nice. 8, what's your most treasured possession?
I want to say my cat, but she's not really a possession.
She's her own being.
Yeah. So technically my cat, because I'm responsible for her.
Yes,
so
you're
like,
her caretaker.
I'm definitely, like if the house is burning down, I'm taking my cat.
You're taking the cat.
Other than that, I mean, it's going to be really lame and say like my laptop and my hard drives.
It's got all your shit.
Yeah. I don't have many like original items.
Yeah.
I think I moved around too much for like accumulating too much. I do have one print from Hedgehog in the Fog, like not from the film, obviously, but from like a print series that Yuri Norstein and his wife make that I purchased from him a number of years ago, which I do like a lot. But it's not particularly valuable or anything. I mean, it's a nice print.
It's a treasured possession.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Cool. 9, what were you like in high school or whatever is the high school equivalent of where you were?
I mean, this is tricky. Like, it's honestly like you'd have to ask someone else because I have very little insight into how I was or how I appeared to other people. Like I had a very non-secure like sense of self, like growing up. Like it took, I think, a long time for me to kind of like realize who I was, because like a lot of kind of stress or conflict like at home. But, you know, I was always like the kid that was into art. I think that was definitely like I leaned into that. I was like, oh, I like art. I like art class. But there were other people who were also into art and good at art class. But I think also like the teachers could see that I was like really into it.
Yeah.
I wasn't part of the popular crowd, but my schools were very small. So it's like a slightly different dynamic. Like in one of my schools, there was only 16 of us in the whole class. So there wasn't a lot of social dynamics.
Yeah. It's just like, a group of people.
Yeah, there wasn't enough people to like separate into groups.
Yeah.
So it was like all the girls were basically friends, except for like a few people, you know, I mean, we weren't all best friends, you know, but there wasn't... Yeah, so I wasn't like super popular. I wasn't super bitchy. I wasn't like a bully.
Yeah.
But I also wasn't super confident either. Like I definitely was still trying to find myself. Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah, classic. Indeed. Very unoriginal.
No, it's not unoriginal. I think it's, you know, it's a formative time, and it's a time when you are trying to figure, and it's like you did figure out something. You figured out art, you know?
Yeah, well, again, someone else would be able to tell better, you know, like, I hope so.
Okay, 10. What do you think is overrated?
Oh, yes. Men. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like in general, just like the patriarchy, you know, overrated.
Yeah.
0 stars. Patriarchy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, why did society decide that this was a good idea?
It is odd.
Yeah.
It is odd. I think about it sometimes. I'm just like, it feels clear that there was some sort of decision made at some point in history that it's like, we're the ones in charge and we need to keep the women down. And it's like, why? Why did that happen?
It's fear.
I know, but it's like, what's so, I don't know. I'm just like, what's so frightening about women? You know?
Because we give life and they don't.
Yeah, but is that scary? I don't know.
It's apparently scary if you are not confident in yourself, right?
It's interesting. Yeah.
Yep. It would be great if we could break out of it, but you know, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, we've come a long way, but there's a long way to go.
Yes, especially now.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I mean, we've gone backwards. Terrible. 11. What's underrated?
I would say like a rainy day. Like I really like a rainy day. I just really like the smell of the rain and the less pressure to get stuff done. You know, I really love that. Yeah. Like, oh, good. I can like, you know, just stay in or work from home or go to the studio and work. And like, I don't, you know, somehow like it's been pointed out to me by friends, like you don't have to do anything anyway. Like even if it's sunny, no one is forcing you to do stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but somehow if it's raining, it feels like this big off the hook feeling.
Yeah.
You know?
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could have a more positive outlook on a rainy day. I'm always like, damn it. Because also I feel like cold when it's rain. Like, I don't know. It's like weird. Even if I'm in my apartment, I'm like, it's cold, you know? Or if it's summertime and it's rainy, then it's like, it's humid, you know? And my hair doesn't like that, I'll tell you.
I think it's because I prefer to be cold than hot.
Yeah. No, I think same, but I don't, it's like a different kind of cold. Like I like like today's like chilly, but it's like a nice crisp fall chilly and it feels good.
Great. Yeah.
And it's sunny. But then when it's like, if it was this kind of weather and it's rainy, then it's like a different kind of cold. And I'm just like, me, you know, I don't know.
Oh, I'm into it. Except when I have to bike.
Yeah.
That's not
that
great.
Sucks.
But I tend to get lazy when it's raining and then I just don't bike. So
yeah. I assume that Rotterdam's very bike friendly, bike forward. What do you do if you can't bike?
Rotterdam is very easy to get around.
There's just like public transit.
There's trams, buses, and the metro.
Awesome.
Still, most people bike in the rain. Like most Dutch people, like the
I've
rain
seen
does not have an impact on their decision to bike or not.
When I was there, I also just felt like it just like will rain like all of a sudden. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're kind of always like prepared for it to rain.
Yeah. And obviously that's why, because it's so unpredictable that like, well, I guess I'll just bike in the rain for a bit. But like I said, I get lazy and I'm like, maybe I'll just take the tram today.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah. I really loved I only took the train from Amsterdam to Utrecht.
Okay.
I was like intimidated. I'm like, I don't know this like train system. It was actually like, I thought so easy to figure out. And then the train ride was so beautiful.
App, the NS app?
I don't remember what I did. I feel like I just like the signs just like made sense in the station. And I was just like,
you are, I'm very happy that you had that experience.
Do you feel like it's not easy?
I mean, the grass is always greener and we forget how lucky we are. But people in the Netherlands, including myself, do love to complain about the train system. Like there are frequent interruptions or cancellations or like whatever for such a small flat country where there's like these trains are not like going through mountains or anything. There are a surprising number of F-ups. But like I said, we are spoiled and we are lucky to have such a functioning public transport system for sure.
Yeah, I liked it.
For a long time, the ticket machines were so unclear. Like from a design point of view, like when you select different things, especially if you're a visitor I remember it would say ticket, whatever, put in where you're going, one person. And then it would say discount. Like there was a button you could select to get a discount.
Yeah.
But it would have no information about what was
qualifies
or like who qualified for a discount or whatever.
Yeah.
And you just have to know what that means.
Yeah.
That it means you have this special pass on your pass that qualifies you for 40% off or whatever, but it didn't say. It's like stuff like that that's very Dutch. It's like they assume and they provide, they can't picture the user.
Yeah.
So they don't understand why someone else would have a problem with it. That's like, I have to say, a very Dutch trait in my experience living there for 13 years.
Yes. I think you're qualified to speak on it. Yeah, I feel like NJ Transit has like similar stuff here, like, or also the like Metro North, like peak, off peak. It's like, you could just pay off peak anytime.
What are the times?
Yeah. But it's like, and it only really matters if like, I mean, they do check your ticket typically, so I guess you'd get in trouble there. But it's just kind of like, it's like weird that you make the decision. And then I also think that there's like on the NJ Transit, there's something where it's like a discount thing, but it's like not obvious like what it is. It's just like, very weird. It's just like, like you're giving us too many options.
Right. Yeah, perhaps this is a universal problem, like a transit system problem where the user is just expected to know everything.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, it should be just like on a schedule and it's like, this is what's available in this time.
Yeah.
And then,
so you didn't go to Rotterdam when you were in the Netherlands?
No, I didn't. Next time.
Yes.
Is it far from Amsterdam?
No. It's closer than Utrecht.
Okay.
It's like, I mean, it depends which train you take. Like it can be as little as like 35 minutes, but usually it's more like an hour because, it depends which station you're getting on at in Amsterdam and which one you're getting off at and whether you're taking the fast train or the normal train. But yeah, it's not hard.
Yeah, cool. Good to know. But yeah, I loved taking the train. I loved it. Because it was just like beautiful, like the countryside. I was like, this is so
It must
Dutch.
not have been raining.
I think it was like, it was just more like the windmills and the sheep. And there were like a couple of like Shetland ponies that had like birds on their back. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's just like outrageous.
It is surprising how sometimes it really looks like one of those paintings from like, the 18th century of like a Dutch landscape. It's like, yep, that's exactly what I'm looking at.
Accurate. Yeah.
Nothing has changed in the countryside.
Yeah. It's beautiful. I was like, this would be nice.
Well, like I said, there's this visa for you.
Yes,
for US
it's
American
really good to know.
freelancers.
I'm like, it's in my mind now.
And I do tell people you don't have to do anything in advance. You can just start the process once you arrive.
Yeah.
So like if for some reason you feel like you have to leave in a rush and you are a freelancer of some kind, like an artist, then this is an option.
Excellent. Good to know. I'll do it. And then I'll drink all the coffee in the world and just be so happy with my little Shetland ponies.
I love how like the Netherlands has become your coffee destination.
It really is.
Out of all of the coffee destinations.
I know, but it was so good. I don't know why. It was so good. That's why I'm trying to find out. I'm like, why was it so good? Yes. Okay. So yeah, we kind of talked about this already, but the first work of art that had a meaningful impact.
Yes,
the Beatles.
Beatles anthology double disc, the first anthology part 1.
That's like the ones, it's like the blue and the red record, or no?
No, that was a different like series, I think. It was like white and gray, and like the cover was like a wall of posters with the posters kind of torn. So you see the different layers of poster. Yeah, it was like...
Oh, I have the book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a big
gigantic book.
Yeah.
I think my uncle gave it to me for
and
Christmas,
it's like
or something.
It includes like all the previous versions of the songs. So not necessarily even the final version of the song. All like the draft 1, draft 2, draft 3. Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. All right. 13. What's a character from an animation that you relate to the most?
Yeah, I have no idea. I really couldn't think of absolutely anything. I'm so sorry. I was scratching my head. Like, I really can't think of anything that like I would relate to. Yeah. The only thing I can think of is Daria.
Yeah.
But even then, I was a bit too young for Daria. Like, it was really more my older sister's kind of show. But I kind of related to this kind of a sardonic kind of social outsider. That's really either that or like the main character from Persepolis, even though like I have absolutely none of the same direct parallels. But just this idea of like a young person moving around and trying to figure out their life. Yeah. But yeah, I think I don't really, like, I didn't watch animation growing up. I mean, I watched, the normal Disney movies and stuff, but I wasn't into animation at the time. I only got into animation later on my bachelor. So I didn't really like pay attention.
14. Who's an animator that you most admire?
Yeah. I really admire Leon and Cosina. This duo from Chile. It's Cristobal Leon and Joaquin Cosina.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Okay, when you said it earlier, I was like, it's the Wolf House people, right? Oh.
Yes. Yeah.
Outrageous. Yeah.
I mean, I've admired their work ever since I first saw like their short films, and I just really like admire the way they make these long features, like kind of cobbling together artist residencies and like making it happen. And they're really like, true to themselves. That's what I really appreciate. Like it's, we're already working in a niche medium and they are also just like, yep, this is what we're doing.
And theirs is so unusual, like their practice.
We're going to make a feature film in German about this very obscure German immigrant community in like Chile or Argentina or wherever that was based. And, it is their style of kind of loosely narrative, but very creative. So I just really appreciate that perseverance. And their success and their careers. I mean, it's very rare. I think they just had their third feature that was presented at Science New Wave. I could be wrong, but I think it was their third long film. Which is pretty cool.
Amazing. And it feels like they've transcended the animation sphere and like have a broader appeal.
And also in the fine art world. So like their short films are shown in galleries, and they also have physical objects that are on display sometimes. And so I also really like that. Like, you are what you say you are,
Would love to have them on the show. 15. What's your favorite animation festival?
I don't really have one top of mind. Like, I've been to a lot. There's some that I've really enjoyed. Like, I really liked Anifilm in the Czech Republic. The times that I went, I think I've been like 3 times, but it was in the old town. I think they've changed to a different town, and I haven't been to the new town yet. I really liked Animafest Zagreb when I was there, but I don't know. I think maybe I've been to too many, or I've been doing it for too long. Like, I've also unfortunately accumulated a lot of unfortunate experiences with like bad people that are like events that are either well known or should be more well known. And it kind of like ruined it for me. Like it kind of put me off a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm much more wary now. I'm much more like, is this really worth my energy and time? Like, of course, if it's great, it's great. When it's great, it's great. And it's like super great to meet all these people that do this super niche thing. But it's also the case that I have been to animation festivals and I definitely felt that like my work was not like the others.
Yeah.
Even within the animation world.
Yeah.
So that's also interesting, right? It's like if what I'm looking for is like my people, it's actually, it might be more in the experimental film festivals rather than the animation specific festival. It depends on the animation festival, right? Like I felt Zagreb was pretty nicely balanced. Like there was like a lot of experimental work. But you know, the few times I was at Annecy, I never had a film in Annecy. And they do show some, I mean, they show so much work that, you know, some of it is bound to be experimental, but like by and large, I didn't feel like a kinship with like their programming, you know? So yeah, I think it also has to do with the tone of the programming, whether I feel like it's like my favorite festival, you know? So I'm trying to think, like actually recently in Rotterdam, there was the Architecture Film Festival in Rotterdam, which is a really cool, small festival that shows films that have something to do with architecture, obviously, but it's not just documentaries. It's also experimental film or experimental documentaries. And it was small enough that you actually kind of got to know all the other visiting filmmakers. So it was very like non-pretentious and lovely. So that I really liked, yeah. And IFFR in Rotterdam, the International Film Festival in Rotterdam, is also cool. Like I do also appreciate their programming, like they show some experimental stuff. But yeah, it's really more in the live action film realm. There's limited animation or like really experimental techniques, but for film, it's really cool. So yeah, animation festival, I guess I'd have to say Animafest Zagreb if I had to pick one. But yeah. There's also things about the Turku Animation Festival in Finland that I really liked.
Yeah, I've heard. It sounds really cool.
Yeah.
It sounds like a really cool
Yeah,
thing.
it can be. But yeah, I think I'm a bit like jaded, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like, oh man, maybe I'm too old.
I mean, I do think that like I feel still like about everything, but I know like in the past I was more in like a music community and like I was part of like a DIY like music venue in college and like cool. We would have shows like every week, you know, and like in the beginning I was like, this is like the best thing to ever happen to me, you know, and then it's like you're exposed to so much that it gets like dull. And I think that like I would just feel like it's so actually rare that a show is like actually amazing. You know what I mean? And I think that I can totally see where like if you're in any kind of creative community for long enough, you're just like, there's so much that's just like regurgitating or it's mediocre, but it's like getting a platform and it takes like a lot for something to like impress you after a while.
Yeah, especially short film festivals, right? Because there's so many short films. It got to the point where I would go to a short film program and I was lucky if there was one film that I liked. Just because like I saw a lot. I have a very specific taste, I guess. So it's not necessarily a reflection of the, you know, the quality of the films.
Sure,
it's just like, okay, cool. None of these are really for me.
It's real,
It's more like I vacillate between like, well, it's really the social aspect why you go to film festivals, right? It's to meet the other filmmakers, which is great. And that's normally like worth it, regardless of the film programming. But then you also have to be careful because sometimes that won't be the case because you'll go all the way to a festival and then there's like no one else there. There's like only a few other international filmmakers. So then you're also kind of like, okay, cool. I'm not meeting anybody. I guess I'll go to a lot of films. And hopefully you'll find a couple that you really like. But yeah, I think it's hard to stick the landing. Like it's hard to have like a really great festival for me. And it's a problem that's inherent because you're not going to please everybody. And like, I'm just one member of the public. So like, obviously there's not going to be a festival just for me.
Yeah. I also think too, like me and my friend Christy have been like thinking a lot about animation events and festivals. I also think that like it's what like obviously programming is like one aspect and like that just is a matter of taste. But then it's also like making an environment that feels like fun and like you can connect to people. Or if you're going to have like a screening, like how long should it be? How long is too long? And I'm like, there's so many things that I've been to like lately where I'm like, this is way too long.
Yeah.
This Q&A is whack.
Don't get me started on Q&A moderators. Like, this could be better.
Yeah. Or it's like, I feel like a lot of times too, that like programming sometimes is like too generous and it's like you accepted too many things that like, there's like actually like super amazing things in this program, but it's like diluted by all the stuff that's like not great. And it's like, you need to be more critical, you know? And it's like, I find that's more of a thing with like a smaller kind of organization. That's what it's like, I think they just like want to be like,
yeah, they want to be for everybody.
Yeah. And it's like,
it's a really tough situation because like you're also balancing like forming a community and, you know, so I totally understand the challenges.
Yep.
And it's also why I don't do it anymore. Like I don't do programming anymore or running events because it just got to be too conflicting. Like I was too conflicted. And as a filmmaker, I was on both sides, right? I was a filmmaker and then I was also like a programmer and kind of aware of crafting the event and the experience. And I just got to be too, I don't know what the answer is.
Is it political?
Oh, well, that's also something, right? I mean, it's always something. Yeah. And you as a filmmaker have no control over it, right? Yeah. So that's also frustrating. So it's complicated. And I don't know what the answer is. Like I said, like there's no right way to do a film festival. It's inherently kind of a flawed system. It should be subjective. A festival should have like a taste, like a discernible taste. So that it's cohesive, so that it's a good viewing experience for the visitor, so that it's not too long. But then of course that means that there's a lot of films that are perfectly good films that will be left out. So I remember someone once said, I think it was Igor from Animator. He said once, well, that's why it's great to have a ton of festivals. So like a ton of festivals, each with like a really specific taste. And like, then there's something for everybody. Yeah. And there is something to be said for that. So like, maybe that's the solution, is to not try to be the perfect festival. Just try to be really specific. Yeah. And just be like, look, this is just one of hopefully many festivals. Yeah. And like, we're not promising that we'll show all the films or like show films that everyone likes. Yep. Of course, whether you can make that work financially, right? Sure. That's the other issue. Yeah. So yeah, it's a tough nut to crack.
Yeah. Well, lots to think about.
But if you do it, like, please, I know you would do a great job. Oh. So yeah.
I've got ideas, and I'm all about specificity. So I feel like that's half the battle, is just like, what's the angle? You know, what's the angle? Yeah. Can I ask, actually, sorry, a follow-up question? The programming that you used to do, it was like screenings, you said, right?
Yeah, so I curated 2 programs of films, either from Seattle or from the Pacific Northwest. This is when I lived in Seattle, and I arranged tours for them, like independent screenings around North America and Europe at like, independent cinemas or venues, you know, that also do music or like whatever. So I wasn't curating like for a festival or anything. It was like independent tours. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. That's so cool.
Yeah. It was cool. It was a shit ton of work.
Yeah. It's a lot. I mean, I find the most intimidating thing is just like space. It's like thinking about space, like getting space. Yeah. I'm like, what resources, what money, it's just like, it's like,
Yeah. Well, in my experience, my limited experience, it was just a ton of emailing people and like finding venues that wouldn't charge you, but would be fine with just taking the bar money, because obviously I wasn't going to pay. There was no money. And I did find a good selection of venues. You kind of get to know which are the cool places that are basically like volunteer run little cinemas. But it also became clear that unless the programmer or the person at the venue was really excited to have you, you kind of had to gauge the conversation, because if you were more excited than them, it often meant that they would neglect to advertise for it. And of course, you don't necessarily have a ton of connections in Prague or Berlin. So then no one comes.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to kind of luck out and find people that are actually excited to bring you in and will not just be using you to fill their agenda. You know? So that became very clear early on. Yeah. For it to be a success, it has to be a good relationship. Yeah, it has to be like an appropriate venue with a curator that's actually interested in your work or like the program.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's a good way of thinking about it. Okay. 16, what's your favorite feature animation?
So I don't have like a long list of favorite feature animations, but one that I do love and I have watched more than once, which is rare, is Waking Life by Richard Linklater, 2001.
Oh, I remember. I haven't seen it, but I remember when it came out. It was like a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I only discovered it like a bit later, like when I was doing my bachelor, so like 2006 or something, I discovered it. But yeah, I was just, I didn't know much about animation when I discovered it, but I really loved I thought the technique was really appropriate to the concept. So I thought the rotoscoping and the different artists for different sections was so good for depicting a dream. It really felt like, wow, this is perfect, because it's almost real, but there's something off.
Yeah.
So the rotoscoping was just like perfect. It was just like, yes, like this is exactly as unsettling as it should be. And I still remember some of the scenes, like some of the conversations in the scenes, like were just really well written and had like very interesting, like philosophical questions.
Yeah.
Some, it's not a perfect film. Like there's definitely some rocky like performances from the actors. But overall, I thought it was like a charming kind of arc also, with kind of big questions at the end.
Yeah.
And that didn't answer everything for you, which I really appreciated.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do sometimes come back to this film and rewatch at least sections of it. Yeah.
17, what's your favorite short animation?
Yuri Norstein's Tale of Tales, 1979, is like a film that really changed my life. And I think about it often. I don't actually rewatch it often, but I do rewatch it sometimes. It's his half-an-hour short film. And it's just the first animated work that I ever saw that like really showed me a more loosely narrative approach and a kind of creative storytelling, like with kind of different types of scenes with different characters that don't necessarily recur, or that are aware of each other. So it was kind of a weaving storyline with like different settings, but it was all very symbolic and moving and like metaphorical, and doesn't explain to you what is happening. Kind of like what I was saying about Leon and Cosina, like it's not dumbing it down for the audience. And it's just like, here it is, you get to interpret it, and I'm not going to explain it to you, and I don't want to, and I'm not making it for you to be explained to you.
Yeah.
Which is very different from Hedgehog in the Fog and like his other work, right? And I love that. Like it makes me really feel like I'm a peer. Like it makes me feel like I'm on par with the filmmaker, and like I'm being respected. And that was the first film like this that I really saw that was really kind of non-narrative or non-literal narrative, and beautiful. And I think about it a lot.
Yeah. Love that. I'm excited to watch it.
Yes. That, I think you might be able to find it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Again, it's good to find a good quality one, because otherwise it's like hard to see what's happening.
Yeah, totally. 18, what characteristic are you most drawn to in others?
People that are confident in themselves and like not defensive or like not posturing.
Yeah.
The posturing people I avoid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Same. 19. When were you most discouraged in pursuing your creative path?
That's an interesting question. I probably had like a low point like 3 or 4 years ago, like relatively recently, actually. I think I was always pretty motivated. But yeah, there was a moment, like, of course, it coincided with, like, I realize now, the onset of perimenopause. So
yeah.
FYI, I'm 41 years old, just to make clear to anyone listening, if anyone is out there who is remotely my age, watch out for these signs. But yeah, it was something that I was just dealing with, the latest rejection from some festival or other. And it kind of felt like the drop that overloaded the bucket, or whatever the expression is. But, you know, there was no big like revelation or anything. It's kind of always been like that. Like, it's always been hard, and it's always been up to you to kind of, you know, deal with how hard it is and not let it stop you. So luckily I managed to get out of it. And I feel like I'm more and more kind of finding a place for my work. But yeah, it's never not a struggle.
Yeah. It's like various levels of discouragement.
Of different types, you know, different types, especially with the short films. There's so few, like my friend Veep told me this once. She said, like, we work in a field where there's so few opportunities for validation.
Yeah.
So like it's not like other professions where like you get a raise if you're doing a good job, or you get a prize or something at work. It's like, you know, hopefully your films get into festivals, maybe they win prizes, or maybe, you know, it used to be Vimeo staff pick was like, whoa.
Yep.
But that was kind of it. Yeah, you know. So it's this funny profession we're in. Like, you do really have to be very self-motivated and self-validating.
Yeah. I've not tried to make any kind of career out of my creative work, but then like I've been getting back into it like lately, and I'm like, oh, you know, it would be nice to like have stuff to submit to things and what have you. I like that I don't have any pressure on my work, but then it feels like if I start doing that, then I'm going to have like expectations. And it's like a scary thing, because it's like, you know, it's like I like to do it just because I like to do it.
Yeah. Well, that's the most important thing. Absolutely. And you don't want to do it for any other reason. Yeah.
And I think it's hard, right? It's hard that balance can be hard once you start getting outside of yourself.
Yeah. And it's something you kind of have to remind yourself of, like, wait a minute, I'm not doing this like to get into festivals.
Yeah.
And if you are, it's kind of like a recipe for disaster. You know, it's just like, oh no, don't. Like, you do it because you really want to, or you feel like you have to. Yeah. And you know, like I always tell the students that I do teach, like, the goal is to keep making the work. That's really the only goal.
I like that.
So whatever that means, whether it's like grant applications to fund it, or whether it means getting into enough film festivals that like your CV is impressive enough that you might get more funding, right? Like, everything does, like, all these things kind of work together into hopefully the result being that you get to keep making your work. But it could also be like having a side job that pays for your time to do the work. Like, it doesn't have to be one path, as long as the work gets to be made, right? So I have to remind myself of that.
No, I really like that outlook. That's good. That's positive. It feels actionable. Feels like it's very
and it's like realistic.
Yeah, totally. 20, what's your most life-defining decision?
I mean, probably moving back to the Netherlands to do this master's course, like, for sure. Because I've been in the Netherlands now for 12, almost 13 years. Yeah. So that was a big change.
What school is it?
It's called St. Joost. And the master program used to be in a town called Breda, which is like 45 minutes south of Rotterdam. They actually moved them to a different town called Den Bosch. So it's like, it's a funny little master's course. It's like a 1-year course. It's like a 12-month course. Yeah. And it's not like an MFA. It's more like a practical master's. But you can do whatever you want on
Yeah.
it. So I was definitely the weird experimental person in my year. And it attracts people from all backgrounds. So it's not just people who are like coming straight out of an animation bachelor. It's like also maybe older people who are like graphic designers or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good kind of thing to do if you want to learn something new, meet people, make a network, and that type of thing.
21. What do you consider your greatest achievement?
Being a cat parent, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels very momentous, like the first time you get your own cat. You know? But yeah, like professionally, oh gosh, I don't know. I mean, honestly, just like kind of what we were saying before, just the fact that I have like a pretty good artist studio that I can rent in Rotterdam, which is difficult to come by nowadays because there's a workplace shortage. And the fact that I am surviving.
Yeah.
For now, with my primary income coming from artist grants, that in and of itself is, to me, a big achievement.
Yeah.
A few years ago, I was at Doc Leipzig, this documentary and animation festival, and I was like a special guest, and there was like a retrospective of my work.
Oh,
that
my
was
gosh,
like the
amazing.
first, that was like, in terms of, fanciness, that was definitely like, oh my gosh, like people are watching like a lot of my films, and some are really old, and then there was like a Q&A after. So yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, that's amazing. Wonderful. 22, are you spiritual?
Only really like obliquely. I mean, sometimes I have like spiritual moments. A lot of my work recently has been about kind of our relationship to time in one way or another. So like definitely there's kind of some spiritual things that come in.
Yeah.
But that's it, I would say. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. 23. What would you say to yourself 5 years from now?
Interesting. I don't know. I think I'm so like I actually don't think ahead that much. Like I don't really project myself into the future that much.
That's nice.
I think I just try to think kind of in 6-month spurts. But I guess I would say, yeah, but I don't know, because it's like I want to say like I hope you're still doing well and like you're still doing well, but it's like, what if I'm not? Then I'm gonna listen back to this and be like, I was such an idiot. Yeah, I mean, I also think about like I hope that I still have some of the same friendships that I have now. So like I hope I still have like that community around me, and like I don't know why I wouldn't. So it's kind of weird to address it.
Well, maybe it's like a reminder to be like grateful for that sense of community.
Yes, and like
not take it for granted.
Nurture those friendships and connections. Yeah.
Very nice. And then last question, 24, what do you want to plug? I mean, you have the film out. Is there other stuff going on you want people to know? Also, like where, like, I mean, your film is on its festival run or exhibition run. Like, is there places that people can see it?
Yeah, so How Now House is in its festival run. Like I mentioned, it just showed in New York. I think it's going to be screening in London at the London Short Film Festival. I think that's like in January.
Okay.
And there's a couple other ones coming up, but of course, you might be in the same place as this festival. You probably aren't. But check my website where there's like a list of all the upcoming ones that are like announced. I hope to do an installation version when I can. Hopefully one will happen in Rotterdam soon, but I'm waiting to hear back about that. Yeah, this is kind of an issue with short films. Like, I wish there was more opportunities to tell people how to see it until it's online, right? Yeah. But my previous work is also online. Like my 2-minute film from 2022, Still Life with Woman, Tea, and Letter, that's online. Orbit is online, my project from 2019. So there's a lot you can see online. It's just the 2 recent ones that are still in festivals here and there. One of them will be online next summer. And then I'm unfortunately still on Instagram if people want to follow me, Tess Martin Art, where, I do all the announcements and whatever. Yep. Yeah.
Cool. Amazing. Well, I'm excited to see the film myself, and
I can send you a secret link.
Yeah, I would like to see it. Yeah, thanks for chatting with me. I really enjoyed our conversation. Yeah. This podcast is recorded, edited, and produced by me, India Lombardi-Bello. Booking assistance from Beth Quitman. Digital marketing assistance from Arnesh Kundu. Music by Cloutmeyer. Designed by Sawyer Rapon. Special thanks to my mom and dad, Christy Kish, Jennifer Roman Petito, and Mother's Milk, the Bar Commodore 2 in Manhattan, Nicholas Fortune Hagen, Andres Salazar and his wife Jimena, Barnaby Catterall and Cynthia Chu, and everybody else that came to my podcast birthday party, Multadult and Darren Santamaria.